Thanks for joining us live for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. We're live in Houston where the Rockets have home court advantage.
Please turn off your microphone. Turn off.
And so the tip-off, it's Miami. We've got a chance here to set the floor.
Okay, bye.
We're in a place they call the American Airlines Arena in downtown Miami, Florida.
Turn off your
Right on
microphone.
the water, the home of the Heat,
Please.
where we're broadcasting live today. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports.
I don't want to talk.
I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony and Doris Burke reporting
I'm
from the
playing on
sideline.
TV and you scream on
And
my
the Houston
hall.
Rockets starting five.
in
Modi
my
and
room.
Howard, the post pair. Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. And it's Ariza in the small forward position. Lets it go. Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The crowd here in anticipation of their home team Cavaliers in an interconference battle here at the Quicken Loans Arena. We've got a chance here to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Houston, Mota Eunice and Howard, the post pair. Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. And it's Ariza in at the three. They get it back. He shoots again. No good from Howard. Smith, no good. For Houston, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. Part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
So timeout called here, the first for Cleveland. The Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because it's Western Conference time for the traveling Golden State Warriors today. Home court advantage goes to the Rockets playing here in Houston. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And now the Golden State Warriors starters. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. And it's Barnes in the small forward position. And there's the call on Patrick Beverley. That is his first foul of the game. Barnes with it. And it's Howard picking him up. Here's Thompson. So the whistle. Blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Jason Terry is checked in for Houston. And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt them inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So, in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. Thompson up top. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try, because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
It's stolen by Bogut. Baseline jumper. And it's sent back by Howard. It's Harden with the drive. Out to the right wing. Howard can't hit. Warriors have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. The dish to Barnes. Bogut the pass to Curry. The three-pointer off the mark.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
But better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
Golden State's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. And it's slammed in by Howard. Howard's gone 2 of 3 from the field. Here's Green. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Green's got his first bucket in this one. Harden dishes to Ariza. It's good. The assist that time from Harden.
And what a first year it was for Steve Kerr and the Warriors. It was the best debut as a new coach ever. 67 wins. He also established a franchise win total in his first year.
And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Outside Terry. No good. Good D by Thompson.
Not good shot selection. Long range and a defender all up in your jersey.
And, you know, that's just the kind of defensive work he's known for. I mean, he can take that shot away from you and does it more times than not.
Here's Harden. No good. And Golden State will come the other way. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. What a year for the Warriors. Clark won their division for the first time in 39 years, ran away with the very tough Western Conference.
And there were a number of surprises last season, Kevin, but the Warriors were at the top of the list. I mean, I don't think anybody, including you and I, pegged them to be as good as they were.
Especially the way the finals began.
Exactly.
And Thompson kicks to Livingston. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact in. That one is on Beast.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Leandro Barbosa. He's checked in for Golden State. That'll be a 5-second call.
And the Warriors won 51 games back in 2014, improved that mark by 16 wins last season. Among teams that won at least 50 games in the previous year, that 16-game improvement was an NBA record for the Warriors.
Here's Spates. And that one is stuffed right through.
And it's like raining buckets.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And joining us in a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. We're live in Houston where the Rockets have home court advantage. All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So for Oklahoma City right now, the rugged duo of Ibaka and Adams in the middle. Andre Robertson out there with Russell Westbrook. And it's Durant in at the small forward position. Well, looking back on last season, you could see the Rockets were tough at home. They just were relentless at going at teams.
Yeah, how about a 30-11 record last year? And a lot of close ones for them, but that home crowd at times could just really will them to victory.
As it did help in the series against the Clippers last year in the playoffs. Houston on D. Adams with it, and it's Howard picking him up. Howard against Adams. Ibaka goes in. Adams dishes to Ibaka. Just 4 to shoot. Robertson can't hit. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. And Kevin Durant with the slam.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one hand tomahawk slam?
Houston shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. Last year, the Thunder were in a playoff battle all season, Clark. Their road record of 16-24, a big part of why they didn't sneak into the playoffs.
Well, when you're dealing with the kinds of injuries the Thunder had last year, it's impossible to be your best, and grinding out road wins is that much tougher.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Elevates and powers in the one-hand.
Textbook.
Yeah, and I'm glad, guys, he doesn't go overboard on that one and get a little too fancy.
And the layup's good off the glass. Durant's got his second basket.
And getting after it on the offensive glass and adding to that early total with the putback.
Second shot opportunity. That one's off. He's now 1 for 2. Westbrook kicks to Robertson. Ariza with the rebound.
And really with the Thunder and their road problems last season, both Phoenix and New Orleans had better road records than they did. And had the Thunder been tougher on the road, no doubt they would have made it in. Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
And it's sent back by Howard. And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Houston. And Oklahoma City with a change here too. Waiters is checked in.
You know, the Thunder had road trouble right out of the gate last season, guys. Only had 1 road win in their first 9 road games. They also had 4 different instances of 4 or more game road losing streaks last season.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Capella's checked in, and Corey Brewer's subbed in for James Harden. And Oklahoma City with a change here too. Cantor checked in for Adams.
And really, these teams don't even look like they belong on the same court today.
I don't think they do, based on what we've seen. A double-digit lead, and we're still in the first. Ouch. That's painful.
Westbrook kicks to Durant. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, and Billy Donovan, the Oklahoma City Thunder, were able to pull him away from the college game last season, signed him to a 5-year deal in the middle of last year's playoffs.
McDaniels, he's checked in for the Rockets. Randy Foye, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. And for Billy Donovan, we were talking about him. He had been with Florida for so long, the Gator program built by him. It would be a big change. He had been thinking about it, though, before. He almost took, remember that Greg, the Magic job back in 2007?
You know, there was a change of heart for him with the Orlando gig. And Donovan's done nothing but win at Florida, and he'll have that same pressure to succeed with the high expectations with the Thunder. They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
That's tipped. And he's going up for the alley-oop. Outside Durant. Randy Foye is on the way. Back to Durant. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Randy Foye already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this lead to get even larger. And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the second round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. Came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6, when I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th and was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game. He's fortunate that shot found the bottom of the bucket. It wasn't the highest quality look.
Here's Cantor. And Capella sends it back. And then Durant with the jam.
And they keep going down low with the ball and keep getting positive results.
Extremely positive. I mean, this is a very nice lead to have early in the ball game.
6 seconds left here in the first quarter. Puts up a 3. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And then over. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. And guys, we've seen the Thunder really take control here.
And we've really seen them get out and establish a real nice rhythm offensively in this game.
Yeah, and they're finding ways to score multiple ways, playing well and sharing the ball, just operating good at the offensive end.
So for Oklahoma City right now, Cantor is the power forward with Adams in the middle. Russell Westbrook out there with Roberson. And it's Waiters in at the 3 spot. Harden inside the 3-point line. Misses off the right iron. Now the pass to Waiters. Out to the right wing. And Roberson kicks to Waiters. And it's sent back by Howard. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep 3-point range. But they get it back. Kicks it to Waiters. Beasley with the steal. Here's Harden. Flushes it down to finish the break.
Well, they need those kinds of plays right now. I mean, smart defense.
Oh! That athletic.
Yeah.
Now that is rocking the rim. Give him the 2 points and tack on some style points too, Kevin.
Clark, he deserves them. No simple finish there with the high altitude windmill slam.
That, to me, is a statement.
Monty Eunice is checked in for Michael Beasley. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Kyle Singler, he's checked in for Dion Waiters. We know Oklahoma City has the stars, the big names, the offensive flair. But, you know, Greg, this team, and you appreciate this, is a very tough defensive group.
Yeah, I think they've matured in that area. In the past, that wasn't always true. But last year, the Thunder really hung their hat on their defense. Top 10 in opponents' field goal percentage.
And the Thunder pushing it up now. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Plain one-hand flush. I love it.
Clark, I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike.
Yeah, the one hand lets you get up higher.
No doubt about it. At least it looks like that from this angle.
And Adams with the slam.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
And the basket by Harden.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
20 feet out. It's rebounded by Houston. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
You know what? Those are shots you just hate to miss when you get those kinds of bunnies on a possession.
Passes it to Beverly. Aniunas, no luck.
Oh, boy, that would have been a nice alley-oop.
Boy, really liked the thought on that play, but didn't quite get it executed. Almost made a spectacular play.
Here's Aniunas. Following the basket by Russell Westbrook.
Very high-quality shot. Can't get enough of those.
The Thunder leading by 19. Here's Roberson. Ariza with the rebound. Rockets have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. The Thunder have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Westbrook with the bucket.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ariza.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Capella's checked in. Brewer comes in for Trevor Ariza. Daniels, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly. Then for the Thunder, Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Cantor. Durant comes in for Singler. And Anthony Morrow subbed in for Roberson. Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Waiters comes in for Steven Adams. And it's Foy in for Russell Westbrook. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Oklahoma City.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
And another thing they've done right from the start is converting a lot of those second chance opportunities. Those can be hard to come by sometimes.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Dwight Howard.
And the Rockets were a tough team last year, but at times it really felt like a one-man show. Harden carried them so much for so long. You just have to wonder if it wore him out.
Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Here's Oklahoma City. They're on a 16-6 run. Here's Ibaka. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
He power surged that one down. Wow.
Yeah, good term to use. One of the game's top dunkers for sure.
Folks, that's not a petty, not a Manny. That's a facial.
Now, here is Ibaka. Waiters no luck.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys. But as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And here is Durant. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
Yeah, just nice strength there, and then just off with the shot.
Boy, with all the contact he drew there, Greg, that would have been a heck of a bucket. He nearly got it to go.
And both free throws good for Waiters. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Oklahoma City out in front as they wrap up the second quarter on a 20-6 run. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
All right, Houston, coming into the quarter.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
Well, anytime you can get to the free throw line with that kind of consistency, that just makes every other facet of the game easy.
And, you know, they have to rotate the defensive assignment on him from now on just to avoid foul trouble on any one particular player, given how good he is at drawing fouls and how many fouls he's been drawing.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all four quarters.
Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Modiunas and Howard, the post pair. And it's Ariza in the small forward. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Harden kicks to Howard. It's intercepted. And the dunk by Westbrook.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers.
Got a piece of it. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. Harden's gone 3 of 10 shooting so far, only 30%.
And for long stretches of the season, the Thunder, they had a short bench early on due to injury and just having a short rotation. They did change things up, though, as they went through that regular season.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this. And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Well, for the Thunder, Greg, you're talking about, they did have to go to their bench more and more. And Clark, as the season wore on, their bench players are playing a lot of minutes.
Yeah, actually, they ended up in the top 10 in bench minutes played. The trades they made at the deadline helped bring depth to the team, and they took advantage of it.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Durant kicks to Roberson. Misses the 3.
You know, guys, if he does his work early, he knows when he gets in a good position, his size gives him a big edge on the glass.
The 3 from Harden.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been
with it. And it's Harden picking him up. The Rockets are looking to defeat their Western Conference rival going into this game. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And the Houston Rockets start 5. Motiejunas and Howard the post pair. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. And it's Beverly in at the point.
That's a quick foul to pick up here in the opening quarter.
Here's Plumlee. Deflected by Howard. And he lobs it up. Oh, and the dunk by Ariza.
A little bit of a magic act here, pulling off the Houdini to make that catch and slam.
Stupendous alley-oop.
I think the crowd is still stunned by that one.
Portland on defense. As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it and move on. 2015, not as much. You know, Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They would go on to drop the first 3 games before being bounced, but still a good showing for a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
For the 3, off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
The Trailblazers rebound. And Plumlee kicks to McCollum. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul. They get a hand on it. Motiejunas with the steal.
And you've got to do a better job of making sure the defender isn't in your space. I mean, if you're going to pump fake, you've got to make sure he doesn't have a chance for the steal.
It's Harden with the drive. Misses off the left iron. Here's McCollum. Can't get it to go. So Houston will take it the other way. Howard dishes to Beverly. The feed to Motiejunas. He kicks to Harden. Pass to Beverly. Back to Harden. Another miss by Harden. Trailblazers have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway.
Well, he actually did a nice job there reading how that shot was going to come off the rim perfectly. I mean, that can make up for any height disadvantage.
Good.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play it.
Lillard outside. Here's Plumlee. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter.
Dishes it to Harkless. Lillard from outside. Here's Aminu. He feeds it to McCollum. 3-pointer Lillard. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Howard, the pass to Beverly. And stolen by Lillard. And again, Portland running the court in transition. Here's Aminu. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Trailblazers.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Crab. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Crab's got his first 3 points of the game.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Here's McDaniels. And now Lillard pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
And they continue to add to their lead. They might be ready to pull away.
No surprise from my end. I mean, they've been really good, and they're looking even better at this moment.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And because it's still early, I wouldn't read too much into it. There's still a lot of game left.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we can see right there why he does.
Over to the wing. Here's Crabbe. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Outside Terry. Ball's knocked loose.
He saw that one was going long, and he tracked it down.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Trailblazers lead by 7. From Portland, we're back in a moment. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And for Portland guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
You know what? They're dominating on the backboards. They have controlled the paint thus far.
Flexing their muscles down low, and they've limited second chances too, guys.
This is how the floor looks for the Rockets starting the second. Beverly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Trevor Ariza out there with Beasley. And it's Howard in the center position. It's no secret, Clark, what this Houston Rockets team wants to do. They want to get to the line, drive the lane, and hurt you from outside the arc.
And they'll do it all at a very fast pace. I mean, they're fun to watch. The pace is something that I think sneaks up on teams sometimes, Kevin.
Good point. Harkless is checked in for Portland. Harden, no good. Portland leading by 5. Crabbe kicks to Leonard. And that one is stuffed right through.
Let's call him a speed merchant. I mean, he was a blur going in for that throwdown.
And no doubt the Rockets were one of the faster-paced teams in the league last year. When you have the firepower they do, you want it to become a scoring fest.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Here's Harden. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Harden's got 4 points in the quarter.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen. A lot of the wins for the Rockets, guys, I thought last year came from just wearing down their opponent. I mean, you can keep up with their pace for a quarter, maybe 2, but it's very hard to sustain it for 48 minutes shot for shot.
Plumlee is checked in for Leonard. And a switch here also for Houston. Montejunas is checked in.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Now here's Ariza. And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
Yeah, maybe that'll give them a little bit of that swagger that they seem to have lost.
It's deflected. Stolen by McCollum. Ahead. Stops. Pops. That shot is no good. And he's 1 for 3 from the floor. To the middle. Here's Ariza. And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Aminu's checked in. Houston also making some changes. Capella's checked in. And Corey Brewer's subbed in for James Harden.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
They better not. I mean, they've got to pad their lead anytime an opportunity presents itself, and that was a golden one.
Shot's good. Aminu's got 6.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Out of bounds, Portland takes possession. So for the Trailblazers, Ed Davis is checked in for Harkless. Henderson comes in for Crabb. And Lillard subbed in for C.J. McCollum. Houston also making some changes. McDaniels comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Terrian for Patrick Beverley.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Plumlee dishes to Henderson. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. And now it's a 12-point Trailblazer lead. Plumlee with the steal. And here again, the Trailblazers in transition. Up the court they go.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers. Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
Leonard, he's checked in for Plumlee. And a switch here also for Houston. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Monte Eunice. Now here's Lillard. 9 points in the game so far. He dishes it to Aminu. Shot clock at 6. And the basket good. Aminu's got 9.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Good at the go. And we've reached. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. You have to like what we've seen so far from Damian Lillard.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all 4 quarters.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. You have to like what we've seen so far from Damian Lillard.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the floor for Portland. Lillard at the point with C.J. McCollum playing the 2. Al-Farouq Aminu is up there with Plumlee. And it's Harkless in at the 3. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
All right, I want everyone to give it up for your Blazer Dancers.
A little over a minute gone here in the second half. Lillard against Beverly. And there's the call on Howard. That's foul number 2 for him. And Portland making a change here. Is checked in. They set the pick. Harkless the pass to Plumlee. From down in the low post, it goes.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
Well, Portland had another strong season against the rest of the West. Ended up with a record of 31-21 in the conference, and that was good enough to earn them the 4th spot in the West. Yeah, starting the second half nicely there. Love those easy lay-ins to get things going.
The 10-footer. The shot by Vonleh, no good. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Harden missing again. Portland did end up 4th in the West, as you said, Greg. You're talking about that. And their 31-21 in conference record was the exact same as it was at the end, Clark, of the 2014 season.
Well, actually, Portland won more games in 2014 than they did last season. Ended up 4th in the conference, mostly because of how they won their division.
Allen Crabbe, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. Harden kicks to Ariza. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
The Trailblazers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. That's good from Crabbe. Portland was just fantastic at home last season. We expect that, though, of this team, Greg. 32-9. It was packed each game.
And Kevin, of that 32-win mark, how about that was the 4th best in the entire league? You don't win your division without winning at home, and Portland definitely took care of business. And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony in him. And he has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about my knees, my man. He looked a little hobbled out there for a moment.
And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Well, I tell you what, it seems as though Portland is always good at home. It was 2007 when they last had a losing record in this building. Even when they're down overall, they're always tough at home.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Ed Davis is checked in for Plumlee. Leonard comes in for Noah Vonleh. And it's Henderson for Harkless. Pass to Leonard. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Rockets trail by 20.
And unfortunately, guys, for Portland, they didn't have home court advantage in the playoffs. As great as they were at home all year, it could have made a big difference for them in the postseason.
Here is Davis. Michael Beasley picking up that last basket. And Brewer kicks to Capella. Outside Terry. And it's Portland with the rebound. 22 is their biggest lead. Here's Henderson. His three-pointers off the mark. Howard dishes to Beasley. From the baseline. Trailblazers leading by 18. Henderson passes to Crabbe. The layup off target. And so the ball out of bounds. Howard touched it last.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Here's Lillard. 9 points in the game so far. Right wing. Here's Aminu. Portland again missing.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Trailblazers lead by 18. From Portland, we're back in a moment. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Taking a look at the Rockets. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Montiunas up there with Beasley. And it's Beverly in the one spot.
You know, I love how he absorbs the foul and still had a chance to knock that one down.
Boy, terrific play there. I thought even with all the contact, he still was going to get that shot to go down.
And both free throws good for Beasley.
And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names.
And Damian Lillard with the jam. Rockets trail by 18. And Beverly gets to Ariza. Stolen by Henderson. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's foul number 2 for him. Aminu with it. Working on Beasley. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
And really just a lack of awareness on his part. Just no idea he was right near the line.
Alan Crabb, he's checked in for Portland. Ariza, right side. Harkless with the steal. Fires from 18. That is good. And that's 13 points for Damian Lillard. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Trailblazers.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, but they've also done a great job of playing in space, getting out in transition every opportunity.
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Here's Crabb, defended by Beverly. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
And Portland has possession. Harden missing his last shot. Plumlee. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And from an offensive standpoint, they have just been stellar.
Yeah, really good. I mean, extremely well coached, fluid, efficient. Man, it's been a lot of fun to watch. The points just keep piling up because they've been such a well-oiled machine.
That's good from Crabb. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance. Yeah, clearly a foul of frustration right there.
Not his best moment. Obviously, no one on their team's happy right now, but you shouldn't be taking that frustration out on your opponent with a poor foul. And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the second round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6, when I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th and was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game.
Here's Ariza. Another miss by Houston.
Boy, they just cannot take the lid off.
Well, they need a basket in the worst possible way, and they've got to stop this run, and the only way you do that, you got to score yourself.
They need this.
Assist from
And then Smith with the dunk.
Ooh, rising and punching it on the young fella. You know he loves having that much of a height advantage. Best chance to get yourself on the highlight reel.
Here's Kaman. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
I hope he didn't hurt his neck, because that was one nasty, nasty head fake.
Well, the defender bought that move, hook, line, and sinker.
The whole thing. He may have given him a little pat on the back as he went sailing by.
And with the Rockets' last postseason, their trip to the conference finals was as far as they would go. Went out to the Warriors in 5 games. Most of them, though, close ones. I think most fans were pleased with how far the team went last year in spite of all the injuries.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Capella's checked in, and Corey Brewer's subbed in for Trevor Ariza.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Trailblazers.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for McCollum. He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
Crab, no good.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
Fires from deep. Good.
The fans are just loving what's going on here tonight. A really good win for the home team.
It sure is. I mean, they kept this crowd in the game, gave them plenty to cheer about, and really used that home court advantage to their advantage.
Here's Vonleh. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
From past the arc, and so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah, they were clicking in every way. I mean, all cylinders go. No question about that. And once they pulled away, they didn't let up.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. See you next time.